Alright, it's Mick Julius here. Let's start this review, man. So, Brian, what did you think about Immortals Fenyx Rising?
The what?
Immortals Fenyx Rising, the game that you were supposed to play.
Oh, sorry, bro. I didn't get around to playing it.
You only had one job, is to play the game and review it. What the hell, man?
I was playing Doom Eternal. I'm sorry. I had too much fun with that
Man,
game.
forget this shit.
Man, don't be like that. Come on. Want a cookie? Hey, man, listen. Look, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to screw up your YouTube channel, alright? It's hard for me to put down Doom Eternal when I start playing it, alright?
Man, what's your big ass in the gym? You don't work out.
Man, just because I'm big doesn't mean I don't work out.
Come here, you son of a bitch. Go home, bitch! It is I, Mick Julius, and we're going to talk about Immortals Fenyx Rising. I hope you guys enjoyed that fight. I know I sure did, and I hope that Brian's back's okay. Mine's okay-ish. Thank goodness for ibuprofen. Alright, so let's get into it. This game was originally known as Gods and Monsters. IMF, or Immortals Fenyx Rising, was developed by Ubisoft Quebec, and it kicks ass, y'all. It was released on everything about Amazon Luna, Windows, Switch, all the Xbox systems, Xbox One, Xbox Series S and X, and released on PlayStation 4. And what I played it on, or I'm still playing it on, is the great PS5. I love my PS5. I'm getting playing the game on 1080p, 120 frames per second. I tried the 4K mode. This game isn't graphically innovative, so if you have a TV like mine that can play a game at 120 frames per second, I would stick with that. That's the performance mode, and there's the graphics mode. Stick with the performance mode on this game. If you're playing Miles Morales, you might want to try out the 4K and see those nice reflections and shadows. You know, ray tracing is great. Alright, so you play as Phoenix in like in Breath of the Wild, because this game was influenced by Breath of the Wild and Assassin's Creed, Odyssey, and Valhalla. Well, mostly Valhalla. But you wake up suddenly and your brother is turned to stone and everybody's turned to stone. So you're the only one that wasn't. So you're like, what the hell? And then Zeus is like, and Prometheus are like, well, mostly Prometheus is like, Phoenix is gonna save the day. Phoenix is a lady. I chose to play as a bald man. I always, if I have the option, I play as a bald man with a little chin hair because I'm crazy. I want to play as myself, you know. I'm stupid like that, I guess. So you got to save the gods in order to save the world from Typhon, the like, you know, baddest ass of the Titans. Typhon the Titan. You know, okay. So it's an open world action RPG action adventure game, but it does have some RPG elements. much more RPG elements than Zelda Breath of the Wild. I do not consider that game an RPG, but this one almost an RPG. Not quite what I would consider an RPG. You might think different. Leave it in the comments if you think that I'm stupid. And by the way, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you don't like it, give it a thumbs down. Thank you very much. Please subscribe also. Alright, so the main merits I found when playing this game was that it's extremely fun, fast, and smooth. Like real smooth, fast combat. You're not gonna get that kind of combat in Breath of the Wild. I really like that godly power where you shoot the arrow and you can slow it down and move it around. And then they have these missions where you shoot them through these little hoops and stuff and try to complete it. The puzzles are amazing in this game. This game is full of freaking cool puzzles. They're a little bit more complicated than Breath of the Wild, a little bit. The Breath of the Wild ones, and they're much less annoying in my opinion. One thing I really wanted to talk about that I think that more games should do something like this is, you know, you're in Greece and all of a sudden you do a bunch of cool stuff and Typhon gets pissed off. So let me read you officially the official what the Ubisoft has to say. Well, I believe it was Ubisoft that wrote this about Typhon's rage. No deed goes unpunished when Typhon's running the show. Defeat enough enemies or clear certain challenges, and you might provoke Typhon's rage. As the sky itself reddens, Typhon's volcano at the center of the Golden Isle, which is where you're at, the Golden Isle in Greece. The sky itself reddens, Typhon's volcano at the center of the Golden Isle erupts with red hot boulders, and the gigantic race of Greek mythology, fallen heroes, will begin to hunt you relentlessly. In our case, Phoenix battled the shade of Odysseus, who could clone himself and abruptly disappear, only to rush out of a portal seconds later with unblockable charge attacks that put your dodging skills to the test. Oh yeah, they're hard to dodge. I can dodge them a little bit, but they keep coming at you. There's, you know, they're gonna hit you with some unblockable moves. They'll turn red. They're a real pain in the ass. So if you want to stop, there's more to it. I don't want to keep reading it. So if you want to stop Typhon's rage, there's some things you could do. You could go to the Hall of the Gods and hide out there. You could defeat the fallen hero, and then that'll stop you. You could go to the fallen hero's lair, or you could go to like a whole nother area on the map. There's different areas that different gods. You have to go on top of gods, like in Assassin's Creed. Look around, and then you unlock that area on the map. So just go to one of those other areas, fast travel, do what you gotta do, and get the hell out of there. Until you get a little stronger, you're not gonna want to deal with Typhon's rage. But it is so cool. There's like stuff, you know, meteors falling from the sky. Man, that's like one of the coolest things about the game, aside from the buttery smooth combat. So some basics of the game is that you need to collect Zeus's lightning bolts in these little volcano-looking things. They're puzzle vaults, and you go in there and you complete these puzzles and you fly through and you get the lightning, and that's going to increase your stamina. Another thing that you need to be aware of is ambrosia. You're going to find ambrosia on top of cliffs and weird spots. They're around a bunch of enemies, and it's like this really colorful crystal looking stuff. You gotta collect that, and you go to Zeus's little workout bench area and you upgrade it at the Hall of the Gods. You're gonna be going to the Hall of the Gods a lot. You also need to be aware of there's these shards that you can break, and they're different colors representing different things that you can upgrade. You need to break them, collect the shards, take it back to the Hall of the Gods, and upgrade that. The shards, you craft potions. My bad. You can upgrade your potion carrying capacity and the strength of your potions. Also, you get these coins from doing challenges, and you use the coins to get godly powers and abilities, and you upgrade them at the cistern at the Hall of the Gods. You're gonna really want to do those puzzles, especially the astrology puzzles where you put the little balls in the holes, and you know, you do that puzzle and you're gonna get a whole bunch of coins, and you need coins. You really need to collect everything. Don't just start rushing into trying to beat this game as fast as possible. You need to go around and do all your little challenges and collect all your stuff for your upgrades. You need freaking upgrades. So yeah, here's like the most important tips that I could gather that from a seasoned player that I can give you. Alright, so Aphrodite's first blessing is very important. It freaking, when you die, it brings you back to life. Okay, that's very important. But you can only do it once every 20 minutes. But man, you need that when you're fighting a hard boss and you die and like, I don't want to start this over again, and you get brought back to life and you're like, hell yeah. You know, you can save up some potions that way too. And there's not a lot of pomegranates. That's how you get your potion. You can find pomegranate. Remember, you can find pomegranates in trees. Okay, you can find them in these little baskets, and the baskets will be like inside buildings and by statues, and that's a really important tip. All right, so yeah, you're gonna need Aphrodite's blessing. That's the first thing you need to do is Aphrodite's first quest. All right, you're gonna need the godly power Heracles leap to make fighting the harpies a lot easier. They're a real pain in the butt. You're gonna get tired of shooting arrows at them. You also need to parry them. Okay, they're gonna shoot something at you. You parry them. It comes back to them and hits them for massive damage. But you're gonna want to knock them out of there. They get annoying. You want to pull yourself towards them and whip their ass with that that axe and that sword. Alright, so you need to focus on, another important thing is you need to focus on stunning enemies. Don't just go in there and start swinging your sword at them. Pull out your damn axe, stun them. You know, once they're stunned, you can do massive damage to them as they just sit there stunned. So that's like the main thing, that battle mechanic. You can throw a rock at them to increase some stun damage. There's different weapons and armor that you can equip to increase stun damage. There's a lot of, their abilities you can unlock. There's a lot of stuff you can do to increase stun damage. Focus on that. My armor is all focused on stunning enemies. It's the best thing you can do, and and you can look this up on YouTube also. There's an easy way to quickly get, at the beginning of the game, some really good armor to stun enemies more easily. So you're going to need to be traveling to the fast traveling to the Hall of the Gods frequently for upgrades and to get your health filled for free. I do that after every big fight, and if I'm on like 1 or 2 bars, I'm going to the Hall of Gods and I'm getting it for free, because free is always better. Most importantly, you're gonna want to get the glide boost ability, because you can glide more quickly, which makes the game less tedious, and use less stamina when you're gliding quickly. And that's really important, and it's really annoying to see something on the map. You're in the Hall of the Gods, you jump off, you start gliding with your cool freaking wings, and you just can't get there. As soon as you get this ability, you can get just about anywhere. It's freaking awesome. You need climb leap, because you could climb in this game just like Breath of the Wild, and stamina gets ate up quick like in Breath of the Wild. So you're gonna need more stamina from the lightning, of Zeus's lightning, and you're gonna need that climb leap ability because it uses less stamina. Is it quicker? Not really. It's still slow as all hell. I hate how slow they climb in this game and Breath of the Wild. You're gonna need swim dash to swim more quickly. You're not gonna be, you get that one last because you're not gonna be swimming as much. Not all the way last, but last out of these recommended things that you need to get. And you're not going to need to get it, but if you get telekinesis gathering, it's going to make the game much quicker. You're not going to have to go around gathering everything one at a time. You can gather things in groups for 3, 4, 5 at a time if they're close enough to each other, and that's freaking great. And I got it, and I was like, oh man, I didn't think this was going to be so cool, but you're going to need it. It makes the game much less tedious. All these things do. Okay, now I'm going to troll all of you that love Breath of the Wild. This is a troll, and I'm sorry, I'm a troll sometimes. And so here we go. I don't like the cartoonish graphics of Breath of the Wild, and I do like the graphics in Immortals Fenyx Rising. They're cartoonish, but they're good. Or they're stylized. I'm sorry, not cartoonish. Breath of the Wild is damn cartoonish. This game is just stylized. It's kind of realistic-y. IFR, Immortals Fenyx Rising, has more to do, and it's less empty than Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild is freaking empty, and there's more enemy varieties in IFR, and BOTY, or BOTWY, this is the same freaking enemies, the same goblins and stupid bosses over and over again, painted a different color, slapped it on there. It's freaking lazy. The whole game, Immortals Fenyx Rising, just has more RPG elements. I love RPGs. This has just enough for me. It's the perfect amount sprinkled in there. Breath of the Wild has annoying crap like weapons breaking and environmental hazards like freezing to death. I mean, I just find that super duper annoying. The weapon breaking, it just took me right. Oh man, this is getting a little bit too out of control. There's better character models, graphics, and colors in Immortals Fenyx Rising. Breath of the Wild only runs at 900p, and I was playing Immortals Fenyx Rising in 4K. I mean, come on. I know it's not fair, but it just looks a hell of a lot better. Immortals Fenyx Rising has fully voiced and animated cutscenes, and the narration. And Breath of the Wild, you're reading all the time. It's fine to be reading, but I don't like to do it in my video games in this current era, unless it's an indie, because I like indies. You guys know I like indies. Alright, so IFR has fully voiced... Oh, I just said that. IFR is faster and has better controls. When you're fighting, it's real quick. Pop, 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 pop. That 120p, I'm telling you, 120 frames per second, I'm telling you, it helps out. It's a little mean to compare these two games because Breath of the Wild was originally made for the Wii U and it's a lot older. A little bit older, but it is what it is. I'm just telling you why I like the game better. It's funner. I mean, that's why we play games, because they're fun. It's the main reason. I have high hopes for Breath of the Wild 2. I think it's going to be much better. They're going to learn from their mistakes. And I'm probably going to go back. I don't totally hate Breath of the Wild. I did trade it in for this game. For $30 at GameStop, I just gave them the cart and some random case. I didn't even have the case, and they gave me $30, and I paid $30. For some reason, I got this Immortals Fenyx Rising for $30, and I was like, I came out there happy, and I was glad I traded it. Later on, I'll rebuy it or something. One thing I can't say is Breath of the Wild, they inspired, you could tell when you play it, they inspired this game. So without Breath of the Wild, there would not be IFR. So it is more immersive than, but it's just not as fun. Breath of the Wild is more immersive, and it's not a bad game, and the open world is freaking huge, and that's impressive on the Nintendo Switch. But I recommend, if you did like Breath of the Wild, get this game, and I really recommend playing on a Series X or a PS5. Alright, y'all, McDooley's out.
Ludo is your friend. McDooley's is your friend too. Subscribe to McDooley's or suck my ass.